Hello everyone, my name is Mario Tiazzo and I'm the Data Analysis and Visualization Librarian here at UNB Libraries. Today we're going to build from our first introductory video on Power BI and explore how to refine and link our data using this software. If you haven't listened to the previous video, it might be a good idea to do so in order to be able to follow along without any added friction. You'll recall that we were able to ingest 3 Excel tables in Power BI, our fact table, test scores, and 2 dimension tables, student profile, and subject category. Just a quick disclaimer, these data tables are fictional. They were created using randomly generated numbers and don't represent anything based in reality. They are simply used for explanatory purposes. So far, we've been in a report view, but let's shift over to the table view. Here we are looking at the student profile table, and we have all the associated fields. If we click on a field heading, the associated ribbon changes. We have the field name, the data type, in this case whole numbers, but we can click on a drop-down menu if we wanted to change it, and a host of other options. If we go to data category, we notice that it's uncategorized. If we click on a drop-down menu, we can see that we can add a postal code or a barcode. None of these are relevant, so we will leave it as uncategorized. If we move over to the city field, and look at the data category, we note that we can now select a variety of geographic categories, URLs, and again, barcode. In this instance, it makes sense to put it down as city. Do that. Note that by doing so, there's a little global icon next to the city field header. Let's do the same for province. That to state or province. And let's do it for country. Make sure to select country region and not county. Great. Just an FYI that changing the data category does not impact the data type. The data type remains the same. The data category is just an enhancement, an additional piece of information on top of the data type for that field. Let's move on to the test scores table elements. When I open it up, we can see 2 sigmas next to the score and year. This means that Power BI thinks that these are numerical elements, which they are, that can be added. In this case, we don't want to be able to add the years together, whereas there might be some value in adding scores together. To remove the summation, we can simply click on the year field and change the summarization option from sum to don't summarize. And we can see that the sigma has gone away for years and is still there for score because it is still being applied. So if we click on score, we can see that it's still sum. Some of you may have noticed that there's an expandable option for exam date. A date hierarchy from year to quarter to month to day. This is fine and we'll leave it alone. The last table only has 2 fields and they are both fine the way they are. Both data types are text, which is correct. If we wanted to, we could keep making changes to our data sets using Power BI, or we could go back to Power Query if we went back into the report view on the home page and pressed Transform Data, which would open up the Power Query page. We won't do that right now though. I'm pretty happy with the way the data is structured. So let's talk next about how to link our data together in Power BI. For that, let's move to the next view, which is the model view. This allows us to view relationships between our data tables. Let's move them a little bit so we can see what is going on here. Great. We can see our 3 tables here, and we can spot that 2 of them, the test scores table and the student profile table, are connected. This is a relationship, and if we click on it, it highlights the fields that form that connection. In this case, Power BI was able to figure out that the student ID field in the student profile table is linked with the student ID field of the test scores table. The 1 means that there is only 1 instance of student ID in that table, so every student ID in that table is unique. So if we go back to the table view, the student profile table, let's sort in ascending order, we can see that they're all unique. Back in their relationship, the asterisk means that there are many instances of the same student ID in that table. So let's go take a peek here. Let's sort this. And we can see many instances of student number 1, many instances of student number 2, and so on and so forth. So this type of relationship is known as a one-to-many relationship. Now the subject category table is kind of just floating there, even though there is a common element between it and the test scores table. the courses field and the subject field are the same, so we can link these two. Power BI hasn't done it automatically because the fields are not called the same thing, but we can do this manually simply by clicking and dragging one over the other. Doesn't matter which one. I'll pick courses and I'll overlay it on top of subjects. I get this new relationship pane here. You can see the courses here and the subjects are the same. Cardinality, we could change this, but it correctly assessed that it's a one-to-many relationship. We'll press save, and there we go. Our relationship now has been formed. And if we click on it, we have the same result as before. We can see the two elements that connect these two tables together, and we can see that it's a one-to-many relationship. Okay, this is great. Now our fact table, the test scores, is linked to both dimension tables, the student profile and the subject category tables. That's a good spot to stop for now. We've looked at how to refine our data and how to link our tables and establish relationships between them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore how to use our linked data tables to create visual elements for our report. Bye for now.